right. Hmm.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get on with this one.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
All right, y'all, what's going on? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Sinnizter. Today, I definitely got a special guest, and let me turn my other phone down because I can hear it. But today, I got a special guest. This is my niece Jenavia. She has her own podcast show, so make sure that you go over there and check out the podcast show. What's the name of the podcast show?
The Jenavia podcast is my first show. My second show is As a Black Poet Thinketh podcast. I'll put it in the comments right here for y'all.
Yeah.
So y'all could
Hey Nadia, what's going on? Yo, Eric Cruz, what's going on? Hey man, thank you for coming through. Be sure to hit that thumbs up for me. That's all I ask. You know, it don't cost you nothing. You know what I mean? It don't cost you nothing. So,
mm-hmm.
but I definitely wanted to come and bring y'all something different. You know, cause I'm on my way back to the truck, so I gotta turn the rental back in tomorrow. And this morning, it was about 5:30 this morning, but I ain't hear it when it went off. And
Mm.
it was my niece texting me at 5:30. I'm like, oh. When I got up, it was like maybe 7:30, 7. I'm like, who texted me at 5:30?
Right.
So I text her back like, good morning. Yo, Carlos, what's going on? So, oh, Nadia in there saying,
Yeah, I see.
yo, yeah. So, so anyway, I'm like, oh, what's going on? And she's like, you busy? I said, nah, I'm drinking coffee. And that's what we actually doing. This coffee
Yes.
time. So we sipping coffee. But anyway, um, before we get into what we're gonna talk about with this video, let me tell y'all, I had to come change some situations, right? Because um I'm the baby out of my siblings. So it's my oldest brother, my two sisters, then me, I'm the baby. So I haven't seen my brother since 2000. You know what I mean? My big brother.
Mm-hmm.
So and that was during the time when our moms passed. That's the last time I seen my big brother and everything like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm on my way back to Illinois. I got time. Let me slide through here real quick. This is the first time I actually got to meet my niece since she's been born.
Yes,
This is the
literally.
first time I'm actually meeting my niece since she's been born.
Yes.
First time ever setting eyes on her, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yo, it ain't never too late. It ain't never too late to go see family you ain't see. You just got to make time and make it happen.
Right. Most
So,
definitely.
yeah, but you know me, I'm an uncle. You know what I mean? I got tons of nieces and nephews. So I had to come through here. She's been doing a lot of good things with her podcast show, and I'm gonna support my niece as much as I can. So, but today topic is about what I called it
It's about what it takes to be
successful.
successful.
Yeah, yeah. What it definitely how I titled it what it takes for success.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, y'all already heard my testimony on what I feel it took for me to be successful. But now I'm gonna let my niece give you some background on what she does and her level of success.
Yes. Well, hello everyone. I'm Jenavia, and I am a poet. I'm a writer. I am a podcaster.
All right, wait, you're a what?
I'm a poet.
Come on, dude. Yeah. I had to catch you on that one. Hold up. You a what?
I'm a poet. I'm a self-published author. I'm a podcaster. Yes, most definitely. Yes, and
You got more titles?
I soon will be. Soon I will be producing and directing some miniseries.
Listen,
I'm working on it.
I need an acting role because you know I can act. I can act. Call me.
I have a documentary I'm working on, so I'll let you know on
Okay,
that one.
yeah.
Yeah, and
So entrepreneur, yeah.
yes, and a master class. So I'm working on different things, and starting off was mainly me wanting to be the best-selling poet. I wanted to be the next Maya Angelou, the next Nikki Giovanni, you know. So,
Oh, you're gonna have to break them people that you gonna have to tell them who them people
ooh, I
is.
mean, everybody should know Maya Angelou is one of the best poets out there, or was. May she rest in peace.
So
Nikki
Cal, what's up?
Giovanni is also another poet. You know, she's wonderful. She's one of the rebels
Right.
out there in the poetry world. Um, Not everybody, especially nowadays, don't really talk about poetry that much like they used to in the 60s and 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually the one of the out of very small group of people that's trying to bring back poetry into the
Right.
world, you know, especially now with all of the protesting and all the police brutality stuff going on. We're trying to bring it back like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, because of all of the things that's been going on, what really got me wanting to really be a writer and publish my first book, which was in 2014,
Mm-hmm.
was when Trayvon Martin was killed.
Right.
Right after that, I said, okay, you know what? It's time for me to put my work out because I got some stuff I need to say. And I felt like my poetry would actually help people with their grief with what happened.
Right.
It could help people get started on their own journeys of trying to live a better life.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, the only way I can really do it is to show them. I can't just say it. So I did everything I could to find a publisher to publish my first book. I went through all kinds of hell trying to find a publisher.
Right.
Like there was some of the publishing companies were they wanted to change a lot of stuff that I was doing, and by me being a control freak, I was like, nah, I can't. I
Right.
can't. Y'all can't
Right.
change my stuff. It's my stuff. What the
Right.
hell?
Right.
So I was like, okay. And then a friend of mine, after a while, I was very unsuccessful with finding one, so I almost gave up until a friend of mine said, you know, you can do self-publishing. And I said, well, what the heck? How am I supposed to do it myself? Like I ain't got the equipment. She told me about a website, createspace.com. At least that's
Mm.
what it used to be.
Right.
It used to be createspace.com, where you can do it yourself. You can even do the formats, you can upload your own files, you can do your own cover, you can have do your own copyrights, paperwork and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what I did. I did all of it. It took me 3 years to do it
Wow.
because I had to learn about it first. I had to do the studying. I got all the books. I was all over YouTube, all over the internet, learning how to do it. And then after those 3 years, once I felt comfortable enough to where I can do it,
Right.
I went on the website.
So you studied this for 3 years?
3 years, yes. Yes, I did. I had to. I had to really know exactly what I was doing before I did anything else. Even though on the website they made it easy to, you know, doing the steps, I still
Right.
wanted to know what the hell I was doing when I got on there. Um, in that process of learning that, I also had to learn how to really write and type and stuff like that as far as poetry is concerned. Poetry and novel writing are two different things. I actually had to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
It really is different. There's different formatting. There's all kinds of stuff that's different. So I had to learn
Right.
that.
Right.
Once I learned that, it came easy for me because I wrote the book. Then I had to learn about the editing part.
Huh.
Let me tell y'all something, y'all.
Tell them.
Editing anything is a pain in the ass when you're doing it by yourself. When you don't have an editor that you could pay to do it, oh my God, doing it by yourself is a pain in the ass. Because you got to go through it a good 3 or 4 times before you actually get it right. Sometimes you still don't get it right. You can publish the work and then get it, and then you get the final copy and you look through it, you be like, damn, there's a couple of typos. What the hell?
Right.
Like you swear
Right.
down you was done.
Right.
Yeah, the editing is a mess. So I can learn how to do the editing. I'm still learning because you learn
Right.
something new every day. I'm still learning how to do the editing. I had to do a couple of rewrites.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, the rewrites was a mess with the first book. My first book, Shades of My Lipstick.
What year did that book? What year did that book come out?
That book.
That's the first book you published.
Yeah, that's the first one. That came out in 2015. I started 2012 really, because I said 2014. It was 2012. The book came out 2015. The first book,
Right.
Shades of My Lipstick. That wasn't even the first book I wanted to put out. But I was taking the easy route by putting that one out because that one is about relationships. That was the easiest one to put out because that's what everybody was on.
Right.
They want to read about the relationships,
right.
love and sex, and they wanted to learn about the heartaches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I put out first. Oh man, people loved it.
Right.
They still do. They still hit me up about the first book. They be like, "Girl, you told my story." Yes, I did. Right. I'm glad you recognized it because that's one of the things I wanted. I wanted to tell people stories while putting my own story in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of my personal life in my books. Right. There really is. And a lot of people be like,
to help other others. Women,
help other men too.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of men that love it too. Very surprisingly, I'm very surprised that there was some men that hit me up. I was like, wow, that's how a lot of women feel. Yes. Very interesting. And then once I done got it all the way I got it, I done put the book out. It sold a couple hundred copies, which ain't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Then 6-7 months after that, I said, okay, book number 2. Book number 2 is called Untamed.
Right.
It's also erotica, basically sex.
Okay.
Yeah, that's book number 2. That's this second book. The idea for it was there was a lot of women that kept hitting me up with their stories about how they was feeling insecure about their sexuality, and they were ashamed to be sexual. They were ashamed to tell their partners what they like in the bedroom. They was telling me all kinds of stuff. Interesting enough, I was actually going through that myself.
Right.
So I was like, how can I really express myself without all the harsh judgment?
Right.
And then I started writing some pieces, a couple of poems about it. I said, maybe if I actually put a book together, it will be a combination of all kinds of women, what they wish they could say out loud without shame. Oh yeah. And it was, everybody loves book number 2.
Okay. And what's the name of book number 2?
Untamed.
Okay. So the first book is called
Shades of My Lipstick.
Book number 2 is
Untamed.
Okay.
Everybody loves Untamed. Untamed is the one that it's very very adult.
Right.
So please be 18 and up to read book number 2. Please do not let your child get a hold of this book. And because I don't want y'all hitting me up talking about my 13-year-old reading your book. How dare you write such? I try to tell you, it's 18 and up.
Right.
Yes, everybody loves book number 2 because sex sells. So, and that's the one book out of all of my books that sold the most. I sold 800 copies the first 2 weeks it dropped. I was very surprised. Yes.
Oh, I got you.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So book number two, and that didn't take me long. Once I learned how to do the first book, the second book came pretty easy. It took me actually a couple months. I
Right.
want to say a good 5-6 months to do book number two. Um, right after I did book number two, the
I'm,
website and the company decided to make some changes. So they changed it from Create Space to Amazon Publishing, because once you go through Create Space, they publish your work to Amazon and other platforms. So I was being published on Amazon and on Barnes and Noble's website.
so
Which
you got book 1 and 2 on
yes,
Amazon
Amazon
and
and
Barnes and
Barnes and
Noble.
Noble. Yes, yes, I do. Most definitely, yeah.
All right, keep telling them I'm getting the link from I'm getting the link for the books from Amazon right now while she tell y'all how
Yeah,
she built everything.
yeah. So once I did book one and two, they started making some changes. Now at first I was feeling some type of way because I'm like, who told y'all to start changing stuff? It was easy. I already knew what to do. Why you had to make things difficult? So I kind of had, once they made the changes, of course I had to relearn how to do it
Right.
through them. It was actually a lot easier this time with the third book. I was very surprised with Amazon Publishing. Um, this is when I started. Oh, let's see. Book two came out in Book two came out in 2016. And I was like, okay, enough with the love stuff.
Right.
I want to talk about some real stuff.
Right.
That's when Sandra Bland was killed.
Mm.
That's when she was arrested and killed at the prison.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I had enough of this. That's also when they had the trial with Trayvon Martin and Zimmerman got off. I was like, okay, enough. How can I really help these people deal with all this mess going on in the world? And my first thought was, yes, you don't know where you're going till you know where you've been, but what about the present time?
Right.
We always so focused either on the past or the future. No one ever focuses on what's going on in the present. So I was like, well, I mean, if we don't know what the hell is going on in the present, how could we actually make it to the future?
Right. Right.
And I said, how can I help people understand?
So this is going into book number 3.
Book number 3, yes.
Okay.
So going into book number 3, I said, well, I can't really help people until I help myself. I was like, I have to help myself first. So
nugget.
Yeah.
That's a nugget.
I'd help myself first. So I named my third book Jenavia.
Right.
It's a combination of motivation and nation at the same time. So it was my way of how can I motivate myself into being a better person, to doing better. How can I motivate myself into gaining some knowledge, educating myself on everything that's going on? How can I make myself better so that everybody else around me can be better?
Right. Right.
So once the writing process was very different because I had to do a lot of reading and research for book number 3. Again, I had to educate myself on a lot of stuff. I started reading different kinds of books like they came before Columbus. I started reading books like Dr. Claude Anderson's books, White Labor, Black Wealth, Powernomics is another one.
What is that about?
Oh, Powernomics is a book by Dr. Claude Anderson, and it's pretty much how America was formed as far as the economics and slavery and stuff like that.
Okay.
I'll show you the book in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna show you the book game.
Yes. Yes,
Y'all seen my book game in my truck, but my niece is gonna show you her book game.
yes, I'm gonna show
But
y'all
God,
that
God,
in
this
just a
this this
minute.
this is this all on you. You got this. God, black.
Yeah. So I while I was writing book number 3, I had to do a lot of reading and a lot of research on a lot of different stuff. History was the main one.
You know what I noticed? The main thing you stay to. I did a lot of reading and a lot of research.
Yes.
I'm a research fanatic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm an avid reader already. I've been an avid reader since I was a kid. My mother made sure I had a huge library in my bedroom from the
Right.
time I was 5 years old.
Right.
So it comes natural to me to have a lot of books around me and reading and studying. So I mean, you're gonna learn stuff forever. Education is
If they want to learn.
yeah, if they want to learn. Education is a lifetime thing. It's a lifestyle. There's really no limit to it at all. There really isn't. Let's see. I mean, I read a lot of different books. I've been reading a lot of books about police brutality and stuff like that because I wrote a lot of pieces about that.
Right.
So once I did all of my research, that's when I started really putting Jenavia together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jenavia, by surprise, I will say, did not sell as much as book 1 and book 2 did.
Right.
I didn't know then, but I know now. It didn't sell because it wasn't like book 1 and book 2. Because everybody was so focused on the love and all the sex stuff, all the fun stuff.
Right.
But when it came to the real stuff, they didn't want that. It was like, okay, no, that's a little too deep for me. No, I don't think. Nah, I'm not with that. No, none of that Black Power stuff. No.
Right.
And that broke my heart because it's like, okay, I mean, I know if I'm feeling some type of way about Sandra Bland's death, I know y'all feel some type of way, and here's something that could help you deal with it, or this is how you could motivate you and your family to do better and
right
stuff like that. But they did not want that. They wanted something that made them feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need something that make you feel fucked up. Really, that's how you make change. That's how you change. You have to be uncomfortable in order to move.
Right.
That's
right.
God makes you uncomfortable. If He wants you to move, He's gonna make you uncomfortable.
Speak on it.
Yes, most definitely gonna make you uncomfortable. It's not a good feeling, but of course that's why you move. Because you don't want, when you know how you sit in a chair, you know your butt is too big for that damn chair. But you're gonna try to make some type of adjustments so you can be comfortable, right? It's the same thing with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with your life.
Nadia said, provoking thought speaks, sis.
Okay,
So,
right.
Yeah, God.
So that was the goal for book number 3. It did sell a little bit, but just not as much as I was hoping it would.
Right. Now, did you feel defeated after you saw the numbers on that book?
Yeah, I did a little bit because again, I just knew that they was going to convert with me.
Right.
I knew they was going to be like, okay, well, I know how she is with this subject.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what she is with this other subject. They didn't want to convert over.
Right.
They wanted to stay where they were comfortable. It was more, again, they wanted something that made them feel good. They didn't want to sit there and actually think, which is what I wanted people to do. Think. Sit your ass down and think for yourself.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to think for themselves. They want somebody else to think for them.
Damn.
That's why they don't read books. Really. I hate the freaking Audible.
The audiobooks?
The audiobooks. Yes, I hate it because, I mean, you have somebody reading to you. It makes me feel like you telling me what to think, in my opinion. I think you're just telling me what to think instead of me reading it myself and decide what it means to me.
Right.
That's just my opinion. I don't know about anybody else. But I just want people to think for themselves. It's very easy to read. I'm very simple with it.
Right.
I could give you a metaphor in 4 lines and you will get it after. Well, you should. You should get it. some people act like they don't get it, but chances are it's because they didn't want to. Again, a lot of people said it was too deep.
Right.
That was the lightweight stuff. Literally, that was the lightweight stuff. Because book number 4, I waited a year after book number 3. I was like, okay, you know what? I don't know about another book like that. Maybe I should go back to the love and relationship stuff because that's what's selling.
Right.
So my whole mindset switched to, let me go backwards to where I was trying to make everybody else happy. Let me make them happy. Because if they're not happy, now nothing's gonna sell.
Right.
So I kind of completely just said the hell with my purpose of what I was really trying to do and just give the people what they want.
Right.
So I started writing book 4.
What was the name of book 4?
Now book 4 was took a while for me to write. Again, it took me a year to actually do it. Again, I was gonna go back to the love and relationship stuff. So I had a whole different title. I had a whole different, perspective on stuff, and I was gonna go back to writing about love. Until one day, I was in a relationship at the time.
Right.
And he introduced me to the documentary Hidden Colors. Most of you should know about Hidden Colors by Tariq Nasheed.
I've never heard of it, to be honest with you.
Oh. Okay, when we're done with this, I will show you. Hidden Colors by Tariq Nasheed. There's 5 parts of this
Nadia
documentary.
at
the time, yeah.
Okay, so Nadia knows. Nadia knows. Okay.
At the time when I was doing book 4, there was 4 parts to it, and he introduced me to the Hidden Colors because he read my 3rd book, and he seen where I was going with it, and he seen that I kind of made another shift, and he was like, "No, stay right here," and I'm gonna explain why.
Right.
Stay right here, and then he came with these DVDs of Hidden Colors. He said, "Now watch these. Long as hell. They're 4 hours each, but they're worth it."
Right.
Because these documentaries are literally some real Black history stuff they don't even teach you in the schools. This is some stuff that, like, before slavery. Oh, they talked about the richest Black man ever. They talked about what melanin is.
Look.
Yes.
So TJ Jones said the untold story. He says my wife has the audio.
Yes.
It's really good.
Oh yeah.
And Nadia said it's emotional.
Yes. Oh yeah. Let's see. The Hidden Colors. Oh man, Hidden Colors.
Okay.
Me.
Yeah.
It did it for me. It really did. It shifted me back to where I wanted to be.
Book 1 and 2.
No, back to book number 3.
Back to book number 3.
It made me shift right back to book number 3 to where I really wanted to be at in that mindset.
Okay.
Because I was continuing. I was going to continue from book 3 with where I was going with book 3.
Right.
I said, okay, now I done told you about the present time. Now that I told you about what's going on in the present, let's go back. Let's go to the past, because you can't really understand fully about what's going on in the present till you know where you've been. You got to go to the past and find a pattern of why it's the way it is now. And I said, okay, now that I watched Hidden Colors, now I know exactly what I want to write. Book number 4, it's called Genealogy. I was taking people to school. Okay. You know how you take your biology class?
Right.
Okay, your chemistry class, your history class.
Right.
I put all 3 of those in one book. Genealogy. If I was a school, if I was a class, that would be the class. Genealogy. This is the knowledge that Jenavia had to learn in order to teach y'all. Because I don't want it to teach you now. I done showed you what's going on in the present now. Let me teach you what's going on in the past so you can see the pattern of why it is now. Why it is the way it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so I did that with book number 4, genealogy. Even the cover is red, black, and green.
I'm gonna show it. I got you.
Yeah, it's red, black, and green. That wasn't the original colors either. It was supposed to be black and gray, but for something told me to put a pop of color in it, and I kept thinking about the African flag, the red, black, and green colors. Yes, that's genealogy right there. Now that picture is me with my head wrap.
Right.
We'll get into the head wraps in a minute because that introduced everybody to all of my head wraps. That book cover.
Mm-hmm.
So red, black, and green, and it pretty much, it's all about all of the history stuff. Who we are, who we used to be. We used to be kings and queens. We used to be the richest people. We are the ones that taught language and taught mathematics and science.
Mm.
So that's what book number 4 is.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, I talked about people also. It was also to uplift black women and black men.
Mm.
Both black men and black women. See,
yeah.
When you see these writers, these women writers, they always talk to the women mostly. Every now and then they might say something to the men, but I didn't want to be one of those writers. I wanted to talk to both.
Right.
If I uplift one, I'm going to uplift the other.
Right.
Simple as that, because we got to come together and do it together.
Right.
So that's what I was doing with book number 4. Oh yeah. Then I took some time off. That sold pretty well. I was very surprised. Book number 4 sold pretty well. I sold a couple hundred in the first month. I was very surprised because again, I was like, y'all didn't want book number 3. So why is book number 4 any different? Like, what made it different? A lot of people hit me up and said it was different because you put a little more history in it. And I said, oh. I said, well, I put a little history in the 3rd book. They was like, no, you didn't. And you know how you go back and look at your stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Then I looked at it, I was like, you know what, y'all right. I didn't really put no history in the 3rd book.
Right. So you took what your readers said.
Yeah.
And then you applied what your readers had said about book number 3.
Yeah.
And added that in book number
4. Yeah. And everybody started to say, go with the deep stuff. Because book 4 was deeper than deep 3.
Right.
But it had something that book 3 was
But
missing.
see, you took what your readers was giving you. That information you took and you was like, you know what, okay, 10 people said this, 20 people said this.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to apply that. And then book number 4 outdid book number 3.
Yeah.
Got you.
See, with book 3, again, it was more about stuff going on in the present. So I guess they didn't want to, they already knew that. They already knew that the police was killing them now. They didn't need to be told that. So it's kind of like, we already know this.
Right.
Book 4, I told them something that they didn't really know. So it's like, oh, new knowledge.
Right.
New information.
Right.
So book 4 sold more. I was so glad. I was like, yes, I got y'all where I want you. Yes, because this is my mindset right here.
Right. Right.
So book 4, man.
Now you saying book 4 outsold book number 3. Now in between book number 3 and 4, what was your mindset? What was like? Because when it comes to you writing your books and your level of success now, when book number 3 didn't sell like you expected it, what was some of your thoughts? What was some of your thoughts when you sat here and you was here at the house and so like when other people is in that slump, when something they expected to work out, or like you said, you was expecting it to sell and it didn't sell. What was your thought? How you felt? How did you get out of it?
Man, I wanted to actually give up right after that. Because like I said, that was what I really wanted to put out first. I wanted to put book 3 out first. But I took the safe route by putting out book number 1, Shades of My Lipstick, out first.
Right.
because I felt like, okay, let me get the people's attention first.
Mm-hmm.
That way I can get my foot in the door, and then boom, I'll come after that with what I really wanted to put out.
Right.
And it just didn't go the way I thought it would. So I was crushed because I was like, damn, this is what I really wanted to put out, but I'm not getting that good response.
Right.
And I lost a lot of confidence. Because I was like, wow, I was so sure this one was going to be the one to really push me to that next level. And it didn't do that. It actually backtracked. And so I was like, wow.
Right.
That really hurt. Because I was like, wow, that was, are you kidding me? Like, y'all don't even want this one.
Right.
It kills my confidence. So I didn't write for a while. I even closed my laptop at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even care no more about writing anymore for a while. It took a good couple months. Actually made me quite depressed. Because I was like, well, I can't, they don't want what I want to put out, so why even bother? Why even continue? Now, how I got out of that was something in me just kept saying, you have something to say. You need to either write it out or say it out loud or scream or something. Just write it. Even if it's just on a piece of paper, just write it down. I just had like these thoughts in my head. My mind races a lot, especially when I have an idea.
Right.
And it just bothers me until I do it.
Right.
Oh, it was just bothering me for a good couple of weeks. I was like, okay, what is going on with me? Then I was like, okay, let me just sit down and just write it out.
Right.
I keep journals. I keep notebooks. I like to actually write it out. I don't really like to type much. I don't really like to be on the phone that much. I'd rather write it out. To me, once I write it out, it becomes real. So I can see it on paper.
You manifest it.
Yeah.
Right.
I can see it on paper and it becomes real. So I wrote a lot. I filled up a whole notebook with, and it wasn't just poems. It was little short stories. It was words I learned from different books and the definitions. That's when I started reading the dictionaries. I started to learn language. I started to learn that there was different kinds of dictionaries. Yes, I started reading like 2 or 3 different kinds of dictionaries, learning different kinds of words. So I would have a notebook full of words, definitions, sayings, all kinds of
You're giving me
quotes.
some good ideas because I ran into a writer's block. I ran into a writer's block with music.
Yeah. The famous Nikki Giovanni, the poet, she says, if you ever have writer's block, read. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be the smallest, littlest thing. It could be a newspaper, a magazine. It could be the front of a sign or something.
Right.
Just read.
Right.
Everything is pretty much, when you're a writer, everything is inspirational. You can look at something in front of you and come up with some kind of idea, because technically a poem starts with a question. When you write that first line, you're answering a question. At least I was told by another writer, by the way. Right. I thought that was very interesting. Also, other than when I wasn't reading, I was watching different lectures, different documentaries.
So wait. Let me get this straight. So the book number 3 didn't sell that good.
Yeah.
You end up in a depression, right?
Yeah.
Then you started questioning yourself.
Yes.
And you started watching documentaries. And what else?
And documentaries, some lectures, different college lectures on YouTube by different writers, different historians.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. She ain't gonna watch TV.
No. I didn't watch TV all that much, really.
She ain't gonna watch cable.
Yeah.
She ain't gonna get a DVD movie.
Right.
And say, okay, well, I'm just gonna watch DVDs and lay around. So in the middle, so you already feeling down because the book didn't sell that well. You was already depressed about the book. And you went and watched lectures and documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
And what else?
And different lectures and documentaries, a lot of history stuff. I stayed watching, if any TV, it was the History Channel mainly.
Mm.
It was mainly the History Channel.
Mm. Constantly still grabbing information.
Information, yes.
Constantly grabbing information.
Yes. History have always been one of my favorite subjects growing up, so it was like natural for me to anything that had to do with any kind of history. It was that
so
was
you're a
thing.
history buff.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, most definitely. Mm-hmm. And after I did that for a while. I was watching all kinds of documentaries and stuff, and that's when again, my mind will get to racing. I'll get ideas from watching the documentaries, and then I'll have to write it down. That's how I got out of my depression. Because once I seen that I was almost done with my notebook, and I kept looking at it, I'm like, I got to do something with this. I gotta do something with what I've just written down. It was literally, again, it was a bunch of words. It was a lot of quotes. It was a lot of different stuff. So I was like, I gotta do something. And it took me a while to really figure out what I was gonna do with it.
Right.
Because at first I wasn't thinking of another book. I was thinking something else. I don't even remember what that something else was, but it wasn't really at first. It wasn't another book. Then something just kept saying, you know what? Do a book and then see how you feel after you finish it.
Right.
Literally, just after you finish the book, not even putting it out. Just do the book and then look at it and see how you feel about it. Once I got the final copy, seeing the cover. Once I had the copy of my own in my hands and I kept reading it, I read it a good 6-7 times.
Right.
And I said, I gotta put this book out.
Mm-hmm.
I said, it's gonna bother me if I don't put this book out because this one is good.
Right.
I kept saying, this is some good stuff right here. I'm good.
Right.
I like this.
Right.
Like I said, I like this. It got to the point where I started to tell myself, do this for yourself first.
Speak to the people.
Do this for yourself first. You have to be the one to like it first. If you don't like it, no one else is going to like it. Because if they see that you don't like your own work, why would they support it? You don't even like your own stuff.
And then you put in that you don't like your own work energy in what you're doing.
Yes.
So you're going to attract the people not liking your work because you don't like it anyway.
Yeah,
exactly. Speak to people.
Most definitely. Which made me realize something when I said that to myself, I got to like it for myself. It made me question how did I feel about my third book. Because for a while, even, again, I didn't know why it didn't sell. I thought I had it good. Deep down inside, I didn't really think I was going to be successful with it because it wasn't the stuff that I was doing before. Right. It was different from what I was doing. Right.
So it was a mindset. It was the thinking that really just manifests itself.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. So something in me was I didn't have the confidence I needed to when I put out book 3.
Okay.
And it I guess it showed because it didn't sell.
Right.
So that's when I was like, okay.
So now you down in the trench. You down in the trenches.
Yeah. Oh man.
A blow to the ego.
Yes. Yes, to the ego. Oh man.
Blow to the ego.
Blow to the ego.
You're looking at the numbers. The numbers is not moving.
Right.
You sitting in your head. You're sitting in your head, and you got 1,000 things going on, trying to figure out like, okay.
I had a lot of doubts. When I was writing book 3, because again, it was different from what I was already doing. So
right.
I was like, I really hope they like this, but I kept saying, but I hope you like it, but this is good, but.
Mm-hmm.
It was like there was a lot of doubts in a way. So that's why book 3 did not sell like I thought it would, because I didn't have the confidence in it. And I guess they felt like, you know what, we can sense that something ain't right.
Now you said it right here.
Yeah. So once I did book 4, I had all the confidence for book 4. Because again, I had new information that I could bounce myself off of.
Right.
And I started to use more poetic forms. I started doing more research. I did a lot more
So
research.
You doubled up
on research.
More on the research than you did the
Yes, I did. I doubled up on it. I definitely did.
Ooh. You did twice the amount of research this time for book number 4. Book
number 4, yes.
Then you did all the other previous books.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
I'm taking notes. Man. I'm taking notes. Come on, I need you to drop them
most
jewels.
Definitely,
drop
yes.
them jewels.
I was reading some books that other people didn't really know about. A lot of people were hitting me up, like, what books did you read when you wrote this and this and this?
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'm on to something for real. Because once book 4 went out, oh man, it sold. It just sold like hotcakes. Yeah, people loved it.
Right.
And they said, this is what we wanted from you. We wanted you to really challenge yourself. Because it shows that you've been challenging yourself and you did the work for it. So, yeah.
So it's a must people challenge themselves.
Yes, challenge yourself. Question everything is one advice I got from another writer when I did book 4.
Okay, question everything.
Question everything.
Break that down. Because now you teaching me and I'm listening.
It falls in line with all of the research and all of the books, all the reading. When you question everything, when you have a question, you're going to want to know the answer.
Right.
You got to find the answers from somewhere. You got to do your research to your questions. I'm going to quote, I'm going to say 2 quotes from a good writer that's out there, Ibram X. Kendi. The first quote I heard he did a commencement speech for doctors,
right,
graduating. He said that an intellectual is a person that has extreme desire to know, which falls in line with when you have that desire to know, you're going to do the research. You're going to find the books to read.
Yeah, I'm always
because you got to know this, and this. That's an intellectual.
Now you gotta break that. Wait, that was deep. You gotta break that down. Let me fix this for y'all. Okay. Yes. Break that intellectual thing down again.
Intellectual is a person that has the extreme desire to know, meaning that you just gotta know what. Let's see, an example. Some kind of history. Let's say you want to know the history of Egypt, right? You just got, it's just something in you that just keeps saying you want to know how something.
The pyramids is built.
Yeah.
What year was the pyramids built? And
yes. Yeah. Again, questions. You're going to question everything. Now, when you question everything, the thing about questioning everything is questioning everything that you've already learned. Because just because you was learning something back then doesn't mean that's exactly what it is.
Oh.
There's another quote from someone I've been listening to on this show. What's his name? His name is, go to the Zoe What morning show on YouTube. He said that every truth is actually a half truth. And I said, oh, wow. Which falls in line with question everything, because not everything that you've learned is just because you learned it doesn't mean that was the truth. It could be a half truth. Most books are mostly opinions. They're not necessarily facts.
Right.
They're not necessarily facts. They're mostly opinions. They're mostly perspectives. So you question everything. The thing about questioning everything is you really have to question everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from what you learned in school, everything that you've learned at home. Because you got to remember, there's so much information out there. You're only getting half of it, especially when you're in school. You're only getting half of it. When you're out of school, you think, once you finish college and you got your degree, you think you are educated. Educated is the sense of it's a past tense. Well, I'm sorry, there's no limit to education. So you're not really educated per se because you're always going to learn something. It's a lifestyle. It's actually a lifestyle. Educating yourself. Sometimes you have to go and educate yourself. Take what you've learned from then and apply it to now, and then go seek new information because there's always going to be new information. So that falls in line with you being an intellectual. You have that extreme desire to know. You got to know what's this new information here.
Right.
And when you want to know so bad, you're going to do the research. Research is everything. It really is. Research is everything.
Yeah.
That's not just books. That's also videos.
Yeah.
Especially now with social media, there's really no excuse for you to not do any type of research whatsoever. You have access right there in your phone.
Preach.
All the access. You done spent $1,200 on that iPhone.
Preach.
You mean to tell me you ain't gonna do no research? You better use that phone. Don't just use the phone to play Candy Crush. Don't just use the phone to be just looking at music videos and watching these heifers twerking and stuff, which they need to stop doing. That's cute.
Right. That part.
They need to stop doing that. So, yeah. Hell, your damn kids, your kid, you don't spend all that money on the phone for your kids, and all they doing is learning the lyrics to Megan Thee Stallion. No. All the educational stuff on there that you could actually look up for them to look at. I'm just saying.
Not bad.
Man, if I go in. Man, y'all don't even know.
Now you said IG twerk videos.
Yes, that needs to stop. That is that needs to stop. That don't no. We get it. You have an ass on you and you can make it clap. Okay. What else you got? What else you got?
God, Joe.
I mean, if that's all you got, then that's a huge problem. Huge problem. You wonder why you're single. Talking about I ain't no good man. Well, don't no good man want no heifer on IG twerking all the time. I mean, hey.
Thoughts over feelings, nothing more, nothing less.
When you get older, all that stuff gonna drop. Okay, so what you gonna do when all that shit drop and you can't, drop it like it's hot no more? You gotta lay it down like it's warm.
You gotta lay it down. I'm sweet. It's my coffee.
What you gonna do when you don't look that good no more? You gotta have some type of. Please have a brain. Please have a brain. I'm just saying.
Right.
It is what it is. Well, anyway, where was I? I done went all the way over.
That's all right. It's all right. You dropping jewels right now. The platform is yours. You dropping jewels.
Most definitely, man. That's why I didn't care too much of how I looked when I was growing up. My mother made sure I had books and everything.
Right.
She already told me that I was beautiful, so I didn't get into all the makeup stuff. First of all, I'm allergic to it. So I don't do all the makeup stuff. I have my natural hair. I have locks now.
Right.
There was a time when I was a kid, man, I wanted to look like all the other girls with the straight hair, with the perms and shit. And I begged my mother.
Preach to them. There's women out there that need to hear this.
I was 9 years old. I begged my mother to relax my hair. Y'all remember the Just For Me relaxer for the children?
Facts.
I got the mild one. After I begged her for 2 weeks, I put it in my hair. The next day, my hair fell out. After that, I never put a relaxer in my hair. I learned to love what I had. I love what I have. Ain't nobody got time to try to look like somebody else. Oh, I love what I have, which means I had to learn how to love myself just the way I am. Because if I don't love myself, how is anybody else gonna love me for who I am?
Preach to him.
Once you love who you are, it shows. Because it'll be authentic.
Oh.
They can see that you be.
Juice tonight. You ain't playing. Yeah. I don't need to say nothing tonight.
Once you love yourself, it'll show because it will be authentic and people can actually see that you love yourself. It shows in different ways. It could be the smallest thing. So I've always been the kind of person that was honest. I'm honest up front already, physically. A friend told me that there was a time I was complaining about, ain't no men trying to holler, really. They don't want to go on no date until she said, well, you know what? The reason why is because you keep it real up front. I said, what are you talking about?
Break that down.
He said, you keep it real up front. Just your physical appearance, you are already keeping it real. You ain't got no fake hair. You don't have on makeup. Your hair is you got your head wrap on. They can see that you keep it real up front. There is no bullshit. So that means they cannot just step to you any kind of way. They got to come to you 100% real. That means they can't play no games with you. Because you're not playing no games with them. So they feel something. They're like, nah, I'm going to respect her enough to not even come to her with no BS.
You walking in your natural beauty.
Yes.
Okay.
Up front. So if I'm
doing that. It ain't none of the makeup.
So if I'm doing that physically, just imagine how I am emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
Oh.
Just imagine. If I'm already coming to you 100% real physically, just imagine the others. Hey. So I had to really learn how to love myself. And in the process of writing book 4, I learned to love myself more because I started to learn more about myself as a Black woman.
Sweet.
I did a lot of research, and a lot of the research I did was a lot of Black history and a lot of African history. I had to learn a lot of, there was some incredible stuff I learned. I learned a lot about the kings and queens. I learned a lot about different empires. I learned a lot of different languages, different tribes, stuff like that, which made me very heavily into all of the African attires. If you go to my Instagram or my Facebook, you see I have on African clothes. I got on dashikis, my hair wraps. So it was something that... for me, that was me.
Right.
That is all me. I'm all about culture. I'm all about culture. I'm all about Black history and stuff like that. Again, being authentic. Me being my authentic self. That helped me sell book 4.
Okay.
Really helped me sell book 4. Because again, once you learn your history and where you've been, and learn some different stuff, you start to have more confidence in yourself because you're learning about yourself.
Right.
You don't really learn about yourself in the schools. You think you would, but you really don't. Not as much as you probably think. That's just my opinion. Especially history. History, there's a lot of stuff that they do not teach. There really is a lot of stuff they don't teach. Oh man. If you actually do your own research, do your own research.
Exactly.
They say never trust anybody's information but your own. Right? Again, do your own research.
I tell people I give knowledge to go behind me and check.
Yeah. Don't take my word for it. No. I could tell you some stuff, But again, do your own research.
Go behind me.
Here's
Go
where
ahead.
you can get
Yep.
the information.
Yep, go behind me.
And
Yep.
if you just happen to find some other information that that I didn't mention, okay, good. Exactly. That's where question everything comes from too. Even question what I'm telling you.
Right.
If you are questioning what I'm telling you, that should give you the oomph to go ahead and do your own research.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. So I did so much research doing book 4. I waited 2 years, and book 5, the idea for book 5, as a black poet thinketh.
Mm-hmm.
First, the title. I read the famous book by oh my God, what is his name? I can't think of his name. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. Allen. James Allen. As a man thinketh. As a man thinks, so
right.
he is. Or what? How's it go? I can't think of it. Where's my iPad? Child, I got it on my iPad. The book. And I kept thinking about that title. And I kept saying, what is a poet thinketh? That was going to be the first, that was the original title, As a Poet Thinketh. The only thing is, once I started writing the book, I noticed most of the pieces that I was writing was mostly about black people and black issues and what we got to deal with, race issues,
mm-hmm.
and what we're dealing with mentally. I had to do a lot of research on mental health. I had to do a lot more reading on history.
Right.
And I was like, as a black poet thinketh, I have to think as a black poet. Can't just think as a poet, because then I'm thinking globally of every race, of every human, male or female.
Right.
That's cool, but there's so much going on in my own community as a black person.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to speak to my people. Now, if everybody else wants to read it, that's fine. But I need to be focused on my own people.
Right.
So that's how the title, As a Black Poet Thinketh, came from. And I did not sugarcoat anything in book 5. I told the truth. In order to really reach people, again, that goes to, you got to be uncomfortable in order to make some changes. I had to tell the truth.
Right.
I had to tell the truth to myself.
Right.
And then I had to tell y'all the truth.
Right.
Whether it hurt your feelings or not.
Mm.
If I'm not hurting your feelings as a writer, I'm not doing my job.
Mm.
Because if you're always, comfortable and you're being told what you want to hear,
yes,
not what you
yes
need
men
to
got
hear,
the yes men around them. Yeah.
Then you're not gonna make any changes.
Oh.
You're not gonna make any type of changes. You're gonna stay where you at, and you're just gonna be right there. You're not gonna grow. You're not going to, and you're not gonna grow in all different ways. You're not gonna grow mentally. You're not gonna grow. Let me use a different word. Evolve.
Oh.
You're not gonna evolve mentally. You're not gonna evolve spiritually. You're not gonna evolve emotionally. You're not even going to evolve physically or sexually.
Oh, Jules.
You're just not. If you're not uncomfortable enough. That's why with things going on now, people are starting to really speak up about race issues, because they are very uncomfortable and it's time for a change.
Right.
And sometimes you could be cool, but sometimes you gotta act a fool to get results. That's why when George Floyd was murdered, everybody took to the streets and tore up everything. Because you gotta act a fool to get results. We already did the marching. We already told you to stop killing us. We did it the nice, correct way.
Right.
But we were not moving like we should have. That's why they tore everything up. And look, they made a few changes. It ain't enough changes in my opinion.
Right.
But they did. It made them move faster to make some type of changes. Some of those changes, in my opinion, is bullshit because the symbolism stuff.
Right.
They think they're making changes with all the symbols. Changing the statues
I
and
remember that.
getting rid of the Confederate flag.
Yeah.
And I said, if y'all gonna go that route, how about y'all get rid of the Statue of Liberty? Because damn well, them white folks, them French people, did not give that to the slaves. No, they didn't. That's not. First of all, that's not even the original Statue of Liberty. The original was a black woman with both her hands up and chains on the on both wrists and her ankles, and she had a big African nose and big lips. That was the original. They told them to take it back and redo it, and they made it more European. Yeah, I learned that. I was like, oh, see, that's why I did book 5. Because I wanted to tell y'all about yourselves. Y'all know damn well that ain't the real Statue of Liberty. I talked about some stuff that, the government could actually go after me. I don't care. I tell the truth.
Right.
I tell the truth like the Honorable Louis Farrakhan tell the truth. And Brother Rizza Islam tell the truth. That's why they kicked him off of Twitter and Instagram, because he's telling the truth. That's what I wanted to do with book 5. I wanted to tell the truth. I don't care who got a problem with it.
Right.
If you got a problem with it, that letting you know that we need to make some changes. That's how you make change. Make everybody uncomfortable. Who cares about your feelings? Get out your feelings. This is not the time to be in your feelings. It's really not. As long as you all up in your feelings, can't get nothing done. You can't get nothing done. You can't. We got a lot of work to do. This is really not the time to be sitting there being like, "Oh, woe is me," and playing the victim.
Oh my God! Yeah. Yes.
They're trying to keep us to keep playing the victim because that's why they keep putting out slave movies. Right. That's why they keep telling the same stories. That's why they whitewash a lot of the stories. Okay, did y'all see the damn Judas and the Black Messiah movie? They watered down that movie so bad. They did the same thing with the Madam C.J. Walker movie, Self-Made. It was a good movie. It was just watered down. They didn't tell everything. They didn't tell the story before that, which is, by the way, get the book Black Fortunes. It tells the story before Madam C.J. Walker, because there was another woman before her, but they didn't tell that story. They told Madam C.J. Walker's story, though, because it was, again, whitewashed.
Right.
They're not telling a lot of the stories. There's a lot of stories they're not telling. That's why I wrote book 5, As a Black Poet Thinketh. This is what I think of y'all's bullshit. And this is what y'all need to do to change it. This is what we need to do to make some changes for ourselves and not wait for, white folks to make those changes. We keep waiting for them to make the changes. And we know damn well they ain't making nothing. They ain't doing nothing for us. Okay? Yes, we have our first black and woman vice president. And yet, she ain't gonna make no changes for us. We know damn well that President Joe Biden is not gonna make no changes for us. I mean, he's the one that signed that crime bill in the 90s that put all the black men in prison. I'm just saying. This is why you need to do your research.
Right.
The more you know, the better.
Right.
They always say when you know better, you do better.
Now, not to get away from what the topic was.
Yeah.
I want to go back touching that topic when you was like, oh, it's me.
Oh, yeah.
When people were trying to, because see, I speak, different people reach different people. And since you were a woman, I want you to talk to a lot of women who might have that mentality. That, whoa, it's me, it's always something me.
Yeah, it's always, playing the victim. of course, everybody struggle when you want to get ahead in life and in everything. If you want to get it, if you want to be in a good relationship or a good business, of course you're going to play the victim because you feel like I deserve um, everything, even I deserve everything, whether or not I do the work or not, because I'm a woman, because I'm female. I'm supposed to be taken care of.
Right.
Because we were taught by our grandmothers and mothers that the men are the leaders and the men are supposed to take care of us. So we don't have to do too much work.
Mm.
We're taught that if the man is not doing what he's supposed to do, kick him out the house. Get rid of him. Get on welfare and make sure there's no, because you know you can't be married and have a man in the house if you get on welfare. So you get rid of that man, get rid of that black man,
Right.
and you and your 7 kids could be here for this $200 rent.
I just said this in one of my other lives.
Yeah.
The government set it up where you can't have the man in the house if you want public assistance.
Yeah, and this is where the woe is me and playing the victim comes from, because they make you the victim. Oh, you got 7 children and the father's not there in their lives. Oh, well, let me give you this $200 check, this $400 check every month, for each kid, because oh, I feel so bad for you. Ooh, you a single mother of 7 with this bastard that walked away from you, that you may have kicked him out for some shit, and that you did. Yeah, because women don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about the things we do in the relationship. We so busy pointing a finger. He did it. But we don't look at the fact that there's something in us that attracted him in the first place. Everybody is a mirror. He is your mirror.
Oh.
You're attracting yourself.
Oh.
There's something in you that attracted him.
Oh, you in your divine sauce right now.
Yeah, you attracted yourself. You just gotta figure out what it is about you that attracted that in the first place. If it's negative energy, something about you, whatever's negative attracted that.
Yes.
It also falls in line with, everything starts at home, of course. How was your parents like? Were they getting along?
Oh.
Were they fighting? Was your dad there? Was your mother there?
Touch it.
Because when you grow up and you see that daddy ain't been there,
right.
When you start dating, you are actually looking for daddy.
Damn, you deep right now.
You're actually looking for daddy.
You deep right now. You deep right now.
And sometimes you do find daddy. You find if you ain't had a father who always made excuses of why he ain't always there, you're gonna end up with the man that have all the excuses, telling you why he's not there, why he's not calling, why he walked away. Because that's what you're used to.
Preach.
That's what you're used to.
Preach. It's yours.
You ended up with that abusive man because your father was abusive to your mother. Because your mother made it seem like it was okay to be beaten on in front of you. So you grew up seeing that. So when you got into a relationship, you didn't walk away from him when he punched you in your face because you used to that. Oh, I'm supposed to be in a relationship like this. Because this is what my mother and father taught me.
Damn.
And again, you play the victim. My mother did it. My father did it. There comes a time where you need to be like, you know what? Well, you know what? It ain't all their fault, because I can actually make the change. I can actually break the cycle.
Keyword.
I can actually break that cycle and not continue it and pass it on for generations. I can actually do that. I just got to do my own work. Your own work that you have to do is get some therapy.
Oh.
Talk to somebody. Write it in a journal. Meditate. What's going on in chat? What's going on? What's going on? Women are built for yes. We are
No, look at the last one now that you just put there. You speaking. I ain't saying nothing. This
This
the first time I'm seeing my niece ever in life, and I'm just, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yes, most definitely. You have to do the work. A lot of us women don't want to do the work. That's why they're in the positions now because they don't want to do the work. We want everybody else around us to do the work, and we want to sit on our asses and be lazy. We want them to do the work for us. No, we can't do that. You got to do it for yourself. If you are not okay in your family, let's say you married with kids, this is why self-care is important. You got to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself because if you are fucked up, you can't do everything you need to do to make sure that the family is okay.
Right.
Especially if you're the one that's cooking the meals and, making sure the kids are doing their homework and stuff. If you are mentally fucked up, you can't do what you need to do to take care of the house. That's why it's also important to, again, you have to really love yourself before you get in any relationship. You have to be, no one's 100% happy. I don't want to say that, but a lot of people will say you have to be happy first before you can get in a relationship. And part of it is by working on your issues.
I had to work on myself.
Yeah, you have to work on yourself. It's not just all about financially stable. You have to be emotionally stable. You have to be mentally stable. Because if you are all over the place, that's what your relationships is going to be like, all over the place. And that goes for your partner too. Again, your partner will be a mirror of you. If you're fucked up, he's going to be fucked up.
I love it. Yes.
That goes for the men too. Men, if you're fucked up, she going to be fucked up. Men, the men, yes, you need to make sure you are straight too, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You have to make sure you are good before you get in any relationship. Right. That goes for y'all too. That goes for everybody. You have to be comfortable with yourself to where you are happy, you're positive, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Of course, you're going to have some rough days, but who doesn't?
Right.
The thing is, you have to be consistent with that motivation. You have to be consistent with the research. You have to be consistent with telling yourself that you are amazing. You have to uplift yourself. We will be so quick to tell other people about themselves and about their issues. We are so quick to give them advice. We don't never take time out to give ourselves advice, take our own advice.
Right.
Because we're, especially women, we are naturally givers. We automatically give. We're just going to give.
Right.
Make sure you are okay.
Right.
We make sure you are okay before we are okay. Again, that's actually a problem. You're supposed to make yourself okay first. Right. A lot of us don't want to admit it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know Nadia dropping something in there, so you can interact because the women in there dropping jewels.
We are self-sacrificial by nature for the betterment of our family structure. But you have to know who you are and hold on to that. Yes, know who you are. Most of us don't know who we are. We only know what we were told. Again, family. You learn from your mother. Your mother is your first teacher because she's the one that there. She birthed you. She's there your first few years, teaching you how to read, write. She's the one that's supposed to be speaking that good positivity into you, telling you you are beautiful just the way you are, telling you that you are smart.
Right.
You are smart, you are kind, and you are beautiful.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing from the movie The Help. Oh, and you's important.
Right.
Most definitely. So you have to speak life into yourself, and then it'll show, and it'll come out for everybody else. Loving yourself is important. That's how you love yourself.
There's another one right here.
Ooh, what else y'all saying? I'm loving.
Come on, ladies, raise your questions out. She ready.
Yeah, give me some questions.
Yeah, yes. yeah. Let's provoke some. Let's provoke some interaction.
The divine feminine and masculine. Yes. Yeah, that's another thing. We as women need to learn how to be feminine again. See, it doesn't help with the Me Too movement going on. At first, I was down with the Me Too movement, but then it got out of hand to where y'all was just doing it just to be doing it, and y'all putting our men in prison for nothing, really. They are already killing our men out in the street. Enough is enough. I think it's not going to happen with my generation. It's going to happen with the generation after me. To where black women specifically are going to be like, they're going to give white America back their fake hair. They're going to give back the damn Louis Vuitton purses and the shoes and say, here, y'all take that. Let me get my man back. It's going to take for you to give up all that stuff for you to get your man back so y'all can get back to the way things are supposed to be. For the black man, black woman to be together. So we can finally have a real revolution. Can we do that? Can we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Which
Brandy says she got it from both. You see it?
Oh,
Brandy
yeah.
she says she got it.
Both of my parents. She's right. Your parents are your first teachers. Right. Yes. You need to get it from both parents. Both parents. Not just your mother, not just your father. It has to be both of them. They have to be in the household. Both. They don't want us to be in the same household. That's why they're doing everything they can to separate us.
I just said this.
Yeah. They separating us in every way possible. You gotta have both.
Now okay, I grew up in a 2-parent household. Brandy said she grew up in a 2-parent household.
Yes. Most definitely.
Now what about women who the father was absent?
Yeah.
Like you said, some women, they grew up and it was just their moms.
Just their mom,
Just the mother, and then when they got older and they got into relationships, they started, I always say when the father wasn't present, when women end up dating outside, that's when men is able to tell women whatever they want to hear because their father wasn't present.
That's another thing. Again, you're looking for daddy. And you're going to look for what you already had or what you didn't have. A lot of us, once a man come along and say all the sweet nothings in your ear, you're so beautiful, you're sexy, ooh, I love you, and a lot of it is game.
Right.
They can sense that you didn't have that. So they use that to manipulate. Which is, they do that. That goes for the men too. When the men who have...
Oh, I gotta hear this. Break that down.
Yeah, it goes for the men too. When they have, again, no father in the house and you're dealing with your mother, the mother is bitter. The mother is, angry.
Right.
She's not speaking life to the boy.
Right.
Not to her son. Not speaking life. They say all the negative stuff. You just like your punk ass daddy.
Right.
You just a punk ass dumb ass nigga.
Right.
Stuff like that. So after you hear her stuff like that, you grow up, try to find a woman. You'll probably find that woman that was just like your mother, talking shit to you. You ain't shit. I'm going to the child support tomorrow. I'm going to make sure I'm put you on child support.
Right.
And I'm going to put you in jail because you ain't doing shit and all this other shit.
Right.
Yeah. It comes down to you're looking for, again, what you never had.
Right. Right.
If you didn't have someone giving you positive affirmations growing up, you're going to either look for someone that's not giving you that or someone that is giving it to you, but they're giving it to you as far as manipulation. Now, the only thing is, there are some real men and women out here that really are sincere when they say they love you.
Right.
That they say that you are beautiful, that you are a good person.
Right.
They're just hard to find because you're so used to the negative stuff. When you finally do get that good person that you've been looking for, you really don't know what to do with that person.
Right.
Because you're not used to that.
Right. Right.
You might actually reject it. You might actually back off because chances are it's because you're still a hurt little girl or a hurt little boy. That's why you need to, do the work on yourself first.
Right.
You have to heal first. We're in a time where we're healing, right?
Right.
So you got to heal first before you get into a relationship. Because if you are not healed and you actually find someone that is good for you, it's going to be a problem because you're going to always look for something wrong. Because in your mind it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. Okay, he ain't put his hands on me yet.
Right.
Okay, he ain't cheating on me yet.
Right.
Okay, she ain't called me no punk ass nigga yet.
Right.
Oh, she ain't digging it all up in my pockets trying to go shopping all the time yet.
Right.
So you're always going to be looking for the negative stuff because you're not used to having someone that was positive in the first place. Again, it really does start at home. Yeah, it starts at home. We need to change that. We really need to change that. And it starts with loving yourself. Once you love yourself, everything else really falls into place.
Ray said, do you have yeah, Ray. My niece have her own podcast show actually.
Yes, my podcast. Yes, I do. My podcast. Yes.
This niece right here, I got another niece that's deep too. So y'all getting ready to see. We working on some things, but she put in her podcast show in the chat in a minute. But I wanted to just bring something. This is the first time I'm meeting my niece since she's been born. So this is the first time we ever got to see each other. You know what I mean? So
yeah, literally, I am 33. Ain't no way in hell it should take 33 years for me to see my own uncle. But life happens.
Yeah.
Life happens.
Yeah.
It really do.
Because when you was born, my brother and your mom's moved to Minnesota.
Yes.
And we ain't come out to Minnesota. Then y'all went from Minnesota to Vegas.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we kept moving further and further from y'all. And I was like, y'all don't want me in New York, huh? Yeah. I've been trying to get to New York for the longest to see my family, my cousins. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So I'm on my way back to Illinois to turn the car in because I'm going back on the road. And I was like, yo, you know what? I just came through here and I was like, you know what? We gotta do a live. I can't come through here and just take pictures. I need it because I know how deep she thinks.
Yeah, I'm a very deep thinker.
My other niece, I'm gonna get my other niece on here, and she deep with it too. My niece Pinky, she deep with it too, and she in her divine source also. So we spiritual heavy over here. Ray, I met Ray one day coming out my truck, going into Burger King, and Ray, she has a YouTube channel and she does card reading. Mm-hmm. And me and Ray had a conversation because I was going through something with the girl that was abused, and it was something. Ray sat me and Ray just started talking like we knew each other like years. So she was like, you know what, you can't save her. Yeah. So Ray was like, you want a hug? And this lady just met me the first day. This was the first time she ever met me. Don't know me. She used to be a truck driver. Right. So I was like, yeah. So she gave me a hug, and then she was like, give me one more, right? Mm-hmm. So then the second hug she gave me, when she stopped, mm-hmm. She's like, got it. Right. Now, she was like, here's my number and everything. Let's do lunch. I'd like you to come on my YouTube. And I told, so we have, since then we've been like brother and sister. So mm-hmm. She leaves, and then I go on Burger King, get my food, go back to my truck. Now I'm feeling strange. Yeah. Because now, for some reason, in my spirit, it felt like she took whatever was sitting on my chest. Yeah. And whatever was clogging me in my chakras, She
Yeah.
cleared all that out.
Oh wow. Hmm.
Yep.
Oh we.
Yep. Cleared. She cleared whatever was blocked. Whatever shock was blocked. When she gave me that second hug and she pulled that energy away from me,
Yeah.
whatever hurt I had over years, she pulled all that. Cause she was like, you know what? I feel your ancestors are watching you.
Mm.
Yo, she gave me some deep jewels. So
Yes.
ever
Oh
since then,
wow.
yeah, she gave me some deep jewels. I met that lady and that was amazing. I was like, and I just felt like I was just floating.
Mm. Yeah.
What like my breathing was all clear, my chest was clear. Like she just whatever was troubling my spirit, she pulled it out of me. So, but
Rachel, let me know. I would like to introduce my ladies to her. Got to go to bed. Good night. Good night, Ray.
yeah, so but like you said about working on yourself,
Yeah,
because
work on yourself.
a lot of men and women they get out of one relationship, they get in another relationship, but they don't never take time to just work on themselves, learn how to be single. Some people don't know how to be single. It's a must.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be with somebody.
Mm.
I gotta be with, they gotta have someone.
Right. That's good, Brandy. Your father started out young, telling you you are beautiful. Exactly. Once you hear it from your father, again, your father is like that's your first love. That's your first real love. Is your father
Right.
as a girl coming from a daddy's girl? I'm a daddy's girl. Okay, I'm a hardcore daddy's girl. Um, that is your father is the your first real love. That's that first real unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy's the one that pick you up from school.
Right.
Daddy is the one that make sure you eat your vegetables and make
Mm-hmm.
sure you do your homework. Daddy is the one that go to the father daughter dances with you.
Yup.
Daddy is the one that try to have little father daughter dates, showing you what a man is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Nadia
man.
says she a daddy girl too.
Yeah, and that's the man that show you what real love is by loving your mother correctly.
I said this on my live about a few.
Yes,
I
by
said I don't want. I want to show my kids
mm-hmm.
and my daughter this is how love looks.
Yeah.
The way I treat her mother and
Yes.
how I love her mother.
Yes.
Now, when I get to that point and I have a daughter, I'm having tea time. Tea time. Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Tea time. It's tea time. What we drinking today, baby?
Right.
Mm-hmm. My daughter gonna be with me. Yep.
Okay.
Can't go to Walmart without her.
Right. So when she grow up and she's dating and stuff, she's going to look for that. She's like, well, my daddy took me out on little dates and stuff. I want a man that's going to take me out on dates and tell me I'm beautiful and let me know that I'm definitely loved for who I am.
Right.
Don't ask me to change who I am.
Right.
Accept me for who I am. Flaws and all.
Yep.
Most definitely.
Cause there's a lot of girls and women who need to hear you say this.
Yeah.
Like you said, you wanted to perm your hair.
Yeah.
Cause you following the trend at that time.
Yeah.
And then you had to learn how to just be you.
Just be myself. Yeah. And love it. I had to really learn how to be myself and love who I am.
And be a queen in your own right.
Right. Most definitely. And I was definitely different from all the girls in school.
What was different about you and the girls in school? Because there's women right now that might not be in the drop. They might not drop down, but they could just come back and listen to the replay. So we got to make sure we inspire the young girls and even some of the women who's a lot older that might still feel that way.
Yeah. Now, My situation was different growing up. I was actually the tomboy. I was that girl that was into sports, and I was the one that wore the baggy clothes. I didn't wear skirts and dresses all that much.
Right.
All the other girls did. So they were doing all the girly stuff, and I
Mm-hmm.
was hanging out with the boys.
Right.
That was me. I was the one that was like, I don't care about having curls in my hair, and I wanted to go play in the dirt. I wanted to ride bikes,
Right.
man. I couldn't wait to get a dirt bike, man. I was again, I was the little tomboy. Part of it is because I didn't grow up with my sister. My sister was in and out of my life, so I was
Right.
mostly around my brother, one of my brothers, and
Mm-hmm.
around his friends. So as I'm hanging out with them, I'm like I'm one of the dudes.
Right.
We sit
Right.
there and chop it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was like a little gangster thug chick, like for real, the
Right.
girl around the way girl.
Right.
That could actually wear Tims, but still actually be cute. See, back then in the '90s, if you was a tomboy, you knew they were girls because they still had some type of feminine pieces to them. They'll have the earrings and their hair done and stuff. You can still tell that they were girls. Nowadays, the tomboys, they look like straight dudes. I swore up and down. I was talking to a dude and it was a girl the other day. I was like, oh damn, I don't remember that.
Right.
Like I don't, but damn, I thought you was a whole ass dude, and you a female like me. Like, wait a minute.
Right.
Okay, excuse me. Things are different. Ooh,
Right.
things are different. That's why I stay in the house.
Mm-hmm.
See, I tell the truth. So if I go outside, I'm gonna tell people about themselves.
So you just think
I
now.
just say I stay in the house. I can't. Don't come to me talking about Jenavia what you think, because I'm gonna tell you what I think, and you're not gonna like
Right.
it.
Right.
Yes, that's how I try to be. I was the quiet one growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was bullied when I was a kid too, because I was the quiet one.
Right.
They always want to mess with the quiet one, but see, the quiet ones are the most dangerous ones. So
Mm-hmm.
y'all better watch out for them quiet ones. You can mess with them a little bit, but you mess with them one too many times and they blow up in your face. They tear that ass up.
Right.
Like see, all you had to do was leave me alone. I wasn't bothering you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I had to deal with that. By me being a tomboy already, I was getting into a lot of fights. I was fighting the girls because they swore up or down. They were so busy trying to get with the high school boys, the basketball players, and the
Yeah.
football players. Wearing the little skirts up to here and got their
Right.
cleavage out, and they trying to get pregnant by the basketball players, and they was mad at me, saying I was cock blocking. I'm like, I don't care about them fools. I'm just sitting here. I just want to watch the game. I ain't think about them. You can have them.
Right.
First of all, they was ugly. So I'm like, you gonna fight me over an ugly motherfucker right here? Really? You can have his ugly ass. I don't want him.
That
I
part.
just want to watch the game. That was it.
That part.
Like, what the hell?
Right.
So oh man, growing up it was hell for me growing up. It really was. Plus, I was I was quiet. So I was that girl that would sit in the corner somewhere reading a book.
Right.
All the other girls, they were so busy trying to attract the boys, so they be playing with the makeup and they got to do their hair and stuff. I didn't give a damn. My hair was in a ponytail or braids,
Right.
literally ponytail braids.
Right.
And I also had the parents that gave me that look like, you better not come home with a baby at 16. You get your ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
And my mama strong. She's a strong woman. Them hits hurt. Okay, that backhand slap ain't no joke. Okay, so I made it a point not to get pregnant in high school. All the other girls did. I literally went to a high school. I went to 4 different high schools. One of them was oh man, bring back memories, bruh. Rancho High School. All the girls had babies. Man, every year they was pregnant. I was like, damn, what the hell? Well, I already knew what they was doing, but like, what the hell y'all doing? I was all summer long. I was at the movie theater.
Right.
What? Apparently y'all was doing something else because you pregnant again this year. I see them years start and you knocked up. You just had a baby a couple months ago. Now you got another one coming. You're a sophomore. I was also had it in my mind to go to college.
Right.
So I was trying to do all I could to get to college. I was more focused. I was trying to focus on school mainly. I didn't care about the boys.
Right.
They wasn't going to help me go to school, so don't talk to their dumb ass. I'm trying to talk to the teacher and get my A's and B's.
That part.
Yeah, I was trying to study and do that.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about no damn boys, so I was one of the rare girls that made it, out of school with no baby on my hip. Oh man, high school was a trip.
Right.
It really was a trip. I can do a whole man, to write my memoir. Oh man. Yeah, people have been asking me to write my memoir because when I tell stories like that, they be like, "Oh, you need to really tell your story." Oh, I'm gonna tell my story. I'm gonna tell my story. A lot of my story is in my poetry books.
Right.
A lot of it is based on me and what I've been through, and I've been through a lot of stuff. So you have to go to Amazon.com right now and get all 5 of my books on Amazon.com right now.
You got 5 books out right now.
Yes.
You working on the 6th one, ain't you?
Book number 6 is coming out June 16th this year. Yeah, it's coming out on my mother's birthday. Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's As a Black Poet Thinketh part 2. Right. So you have to get the first part, As a Black Poet Thinketh.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to show them something? You want to show them some of the books you got over there?
Yes.
What's your phone?
Yeah. Let me get. Ooh. All right.
So, as y'all see.
Where's my other ones?
Oh, and all your books that you published already.
Yeah.
She got a whole crate over here of books.
Oh man, I got a whole library.
She's sitting with books on books on books.
Books
on books on books. Books. Books and books. More books. Nothing but books.
Yeah.
Books. You'll send checking in from Connecticut. Sean 203. What up, man? For real. I'm selling it. Okay, wait. My Accord, I'm selling it for $5K. I feel you, bro.
Does anybody have any more questions for me?
She said, does any of y'all have any more questions for her?
Yes, I would love to answer some questions.
Let me see what the...
I'm going to show them my books first and then... Oh, man. Tell y'all what, this is fun.
Using that down payment, okay. Yeah. Okay, put it right here.
My phone right there. Move you out the way. All right, y'all. So I'm about to show you copies of my books, starting from book number 1 all the way through to book number 5.
Now I got you.
Okay. Let's see how y'all see that? This is Shades of My Lipstick. This is the first book. Yeah, this is about the love and relationships. Also about self-love. I was going through a period of time where I was really trying to love myself.
Right.
And a lot of the pieces of the book is about self-love. So there's some of these are like love poems for myself in Shades of My Lipstick. Yeah. Shades of My Lipstick, the title came from there are so many shades to a woman. There's so many layers to a woman. There's different sides to a woman. So that's what this one is. Shades of My Lipstick. There will be a special edition coming out next year with a different cover of this book. by the way. So that's the first book. Second book, Untamed. This is the erotica. Look at the cover very carefully. Reasons why I say that is because I don't know if y'all can y'all really see that? Let's see. By it being flipped. Ooh. Anyway, the cover of my second book is actually a picture of me in lingerie. The only thing is you don't see my face in the picture. I cut my face out of it and just used, that part. Me in lingerie. The only reason I used this picture is because I used to be over 300 pounds. Until one day I was walking down the street and I was out of breath. And I said, ooh, there's too much weight on me. I can't keep doing it. So I started, working out and eating more healthy. I